Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another WWE Reddit video. This is, of course, the series where you can submit your photos, videos, memes, questions, or anything related to the world of professional wrestling over on the Santi Zap Videos Reddit page. So if you'd like to be featured in next week's WWE Reddit video, make sure that you check out the Reddit page. There's a link in the description for you. As always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I know that you're going to fall in love with this YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. And don't forget, if you want more than just daily wrestling content, come over to the Patreon, patreon.com/SantiZap, where we upload a whole host of extra videos that never get uploaded here to YouTube. So come check it out. Link in the description, link in the pinned comment. Let's start the video. Yes. So this is the news that has been making the rounds all over social media that has people up in arms. The fact that Alberto El Patron, the AAA champion, formerly known as Alberto Del Rio, has been signed to a WWE contract. And this, of course, comes off the back of the news that TKO has outright acquired AAA. Now, I don't think that this is as simple and as black and white as, hey, WWE has signed the young and spry 48-year-old Alberto Del Rio to a new contract, and you're going to be seeing him on episodes of Monday Night Raw moving forward. I don't think it's anything like that. I think it's just a simple new employment contract. Now that AAA has been acquired by TKO, employees of AAA and thus contractors of AAA like Alberto Del Rio now have to sign new TKO contracts. It's a pretty standard practice in corporate acquisitions. If your company gets bought out by another one, all of a sudden you need to sign a brand new employment contract to demonstrate that you now work and are a liability of that new parent company. But again, I don't think that we're going to be seeing Alberto Del Rio anytime soon. I really think that this is just WWE and TKO inheriting all of these AAA contracts. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if they have him drop the AAA championship before Worlds Collide to Hijo del Vikingo so that WWE doesn't have to feature Alberto El Patron with anything to do with the WWE brand. I will say this is very ill-timed news, by the way. Again, I don't think it's just, hey, Alberto's going to be featured on Monday Night Raw, but it does come off the back of some pretty bad news with a bunch of WWE talent getting released. So it just looks really, really bad when you release all of this young talent and in return you bring in this aged talent that is very problematic. I am not a fan of Alberto Del Rio at all whatsoever. Like, I just have never found him entertaining. But it doesn't change the fact that the dude is the AAA champion, and when you acquire AAA, you basically have to take on him whether you want to or not, I guess. But again, I don't think that you guys need to be worried about this guy appearing on WWE TV at all. If I'm wrong, well then holy shit, I'm wrong. Now, there are a lot of things that you can find about Alberto Del Rio, some terrible things that he's done, but this is like pretty recent, him jumping over the crowds and fighting fans. He throws a chair at someone, but watch this. Wow! Tom Brady just beams him with a chair. So this is a guy that's clearly got some anger issues. He's got a very problematic past, and honestly, I just don't see a place for him in WWE in 2025 anymore. Right, so this is the full list of wrestlers from AAA that have signed their new contracts with TKO and WWE. Obviously, some that get me really excited is Niño Hamburguesa, La Parca, and the big one here to me is Hijo del Vikingo. Honestly, I would not be surprised if WWE has Alberto El Patron drop the AAA championship to Hijo del Vikingo so that WWE can market Hijo del Vikingo for shows like Worlds Collide and anything to do with NXT or maybe even the main roster, considering it was Hijo del Vikingo that WWE featured at WrestleMania. WWE signed Alberto Del Rio, which means we're gonna hear this banger again. All right, so I obviously can't play the whole thing continuously because I get dinged with copyright, but he's still going.
Hit the off switch.
This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is where the greatness of Alberto Del Rio starts and ends. It was literally all with Ricardo Rodriguez, if you ask me. I would say that Alberto Del Rio maybe had the greatest gimmick that a Latino wrestler has ever had, but I genuinely, like without trying to be blinded or being petty, I cannot think of a genuinely great Alberto Del Rio match. I am not excited at all whatsoever for the return of maybe potentially Alberto Del Rio to WWE TV. I will always believe that this gimmick, as amazing as it was wasted on Del Rio. I actually enjoy these Logan Paul vlogs. Dude, yeah, these vlogs that Logan Paul does with WWE superstars backstage have become some of my favorite pieces of WWE media. What's this one?
It's the man himself, I think. We're not really sure. What do you think? Like 100 you
versus one gorilla?
One girl.
We're winning in record time.
All right. All right.
What would be the strategy? What's your strategy?
An amateur wrestler my whole life.
Okay, so what's the strategy?
Beat the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, dude. This is the content that I want to see more from Logan Paul, because he does give us a firsthand look backstage from an influencer's point of view to what the WWE backstage ecosystem looks like, and we get great conversations and great interactions like these. I do love these Logan Paul vlogs. Will next year finally be Finn's moment? So I actually didn't realize this, that every single member of Judgment Day except Finn Balor has had major moments at WrestleMania over the last couple of years. Will next year be Finn's moment? I mean, like, maybe? If I'm a betting man, I would say probably not. Hell, if I'm a betting man, I would assume that Finn Balor is out of the Judgment Day by next WrestleMania, actually. Randy Orton on Instagram. This was sick. If you're a fan of the NBA, you know what this means. You know that this was good old Anthony taking out the trash. And by trash, I mean LeBron James, and eliminating the Los Angeles Lakers, and that legend killer moniker being given to by Randy Orton. I mean, that's as high as honor that you could get. WWE, hey Braun, put these guys over and make them stars. Braun, I got you. WWE, thank you. You fired. Yeah, dude, out of all of the people that got fired, the Braun Strowman firing is one that I'll never understand. I mean, I don't know what the financial numbers look like. It sounds, at least this is what the rumor mill is saying, that he was let go because WWE felt that he was making too much money for how much they were using him, and probably how much they were getting in return with things like merch sales, etc. I don't know what those numbers look like, but what I do know is that they were using him. And I think that whether or not they were getting their money back from Braun Strowman, the person, I think they were at least getting their money back from how over he was making other people be. He was putting Jacob Fatu over, and I think some residual, merch sales from Jacob Fatu probably came off the back of the great feud with Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman is not a case of like, hey, we got nothing for you. Like, he was literally there every single episode of Friday Night SmackDown, and even main eventing a bunch of episodes of Friday Night SmackDown. I'm gonna miss Braun Strowman, man. I wasn't a huge fan, but like the last run that he had like completely won me over. Really, Santi, this is your take? All right, let's see what other Santi opinion gets taken out of context here and people get mad at me over. At first, I wasn't a big fan of Rusev going against Alpha Academy, but his reasons in this week's match really changed my mind. I'm excited. I think I'm gonna disagree with you. This isn't like really working for me, and I think no! God damn it, I just got that song out of my freaking head. All right, let's just move on. Mount Rushmore of luchadors. Tell me when this is a lie, because you won't ever be able to tell me, because this is just a fundamental fact of life. Love her or hate her, but thanks to Becky, I'm now fully sold on Lyra Valkyria. It is thanks to Becky, like 100%. I've always been over on Lyra Valkyria as a worker. I think that she is just amongst the best that the WWE has, and is somebody that absolutely can be a future star of the company. But as it stood before Becky Lynch, even when she won the IC title on her own, she just wasn't connecting with fans. She just wasn't able to find that thing to be able to latch onto, for fans to find her relatable, for fans to want to actually see her on every episode of Monday Night Raw. She kind of reminded me of Santos Escobar, just a great worker, but just couldn't buy a pop to save his life. But now with this feud with Becky Lynch, this personal feud with Becky Lynch that's really easy for people to really get behind, this is just making a star out of Lyra Valkyria. And not only is she looking good from an in-ring perspective and from a character perspective, but she is connecting with the crowd, and that to me was always the missing piece of the puzzle. And she's found that piece of the puzzle, and I firmly believe it's because of Becky Lynch. She deserved better. I mean, I would agree. Obviously, like, I don't know the circumstances as to why she was released. Maybe they didn't feel like they had anything for her in the foreseeable future, but I find that just kind of crazy, considering you have two brand new divisions in the IC and the US title, and somebody like Dakota Kai, whether you see her as a champion or not, is just perfect for that division. Like literally, like fundamentally on paper, she is perfect for the mid-card titles in the WWE, and those are divisions that need more bodies, and people like Dakota Kai could have helped cement that division. She helped cement the IC title. She could have kept helping grow it, as well as the US title. There was definitely a place for Dakota Kai, but again, I'm not a WWE executive. I don't know what their thought process is when you let go of a talent that, in my opinion, has room to still grow, and you can absolutely use if you really wanted to, and letting somebody like Dakota go. Oh,
my
God!
Oh.
Oh! Okay, that's
I
filthy.
was
That was... And beautiful. Man, I love that spirit bomb. Oh, oh yeah. Woo! Oh. That, folks, was a sneak peek of this week's Wrestling is Cool Match Club, available exclusively on patreon.com/SantiZap. This week, we're looking at maybe the most insane backyard wrestling match that I've ever seen from BXW Backyard Wrestling. John Cena versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 23. CM Punk versus Raven from Ring of Honor in a Clockwork Orange Funhouse match. Keith Lee versus Penta from AAW Pro. And Will Ospreay versus Speedball Mike Bailey from TNA back in 2021. You're going to be getting all of this, plus the Raw reviews, the SmackDown reviews, the Wrestling is Cool podcast 3 days earlier than everywhere else, the currently ongoing Royal Rumble watch-alongs that we're doing, and now we're starting a new series where we're watching every single John Cena WWE Championship victory of his career. So come check it out. That's patreon.com/SantiZap. There's a link in the description or a link in the pinned comment. I'm confident that if you try it even for just 1 month, that you are going to fall in love with the content and the community. But that's enough. If you're already a patron, thank you so much for your support. Let's get you back to the video. At this point, just cancel the women's tag team division. Yeah, so obviously not just Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, who were pretty much like the only, like, from the ground up team with an actual tag team identity in the women's tag team division. Not only were they let go, but a bunch of other women that could have been in the tag team division and were being used in the tag team division, like the likes of Gigi Dolan, Cora Jade, Jakara Jackson, Shayna Baszler. You could have used Dakota Kai in there as well. And I was originally of the mind that, yeah, at this point, just kill the tag team titles, move them over to NXT, or just dissolve them. But I really think that that's, the more that I've thought about it, maybe that isn't necessarily the best solution. Like, the best solution isn't to just, as fans, just give up and move on. I feel like the solution here is to demand that WWE actually give a damn about the women's tag team division, even though their actions demonstrate that they simply just don't. What's something conceptually weird about professional wrestling that you just accept anyway? Okay, I think I've got a couple of these. For me, it is conceptually weird to have your music hit when you're going down the ramp to make a save. Like, think about it. You're a Jeff Hardy or whatever, or you're a Jey Uso and your brother is getting beat up. You literally have to go to the sound guy and say, hey, I'm about to run out there to save my brother. Do you mind hitting my music? Can you go to the playlist and yeah, just hit play right there. Okay, now I can go. That to me is fundamentally weird when you start to break it down. What do you guys think about the rumor of Mariah May coming to WWE? I mean, it seems like a lock. It seems like WWE would definitely benefit from having a Mariah May. WWE is, I think, a good place for Mariah May, and Mariah May seems to want to go to WWE. I thought that when AEW signed Mariah May, that WWE fumbled by not like going all out for Mariah May, and that AEW scored a gem, and we were all 100% right. She was absolutely a gem for AEW, but to me, I think it's a foregone conclusion that she's going to go to WWE, and she's going to be a huge asset there. Oh, I love these guys, man.
Hey, excuse me! Help! Help! Help!
Okay.
Hey, help!
Okay. Okay, that was, you know what? We were talking about something that's like fundamentally weird about wrestling. I think they just gave us the visual real world representation of one of those weird things. So CM Punk will be there on the show, right? Yeah, the announcement of Crown Jewel just seemingly randomly out of nowhere being moved from Saudi Arabia to Australia. I kind of feel bad for Australia, honestly. Like, out of all of the shows that you want to come to your country and to your region, Crown Jewel is, like, I'm not kidding, dead last, especially from what we saw from last Crown Jewel. Sure, like, you're gonna have big names there, but it's just going to be a meaningless showcase of a show. Like, it's maybe a level just a little bit above a Saturday night's main event. The results of the big matches at Crown Jewel do not matter. Liv Morgan and Cody Rhodes being the Crown Jewel Mega Uber Super Special Champions didn't mean jack shit for the rest of the year. I was actually kind of hoping that Australia was gonna get something like Bad Blood, so that they could get like a Hell in a Cell match or something. But this to me, if I'm an Australian person that was excited for the show in Perth, this is probably the worst possible news out of all the shows that could have gone there. You can only have one. Which one are you choosing? Okay, so Sammy as World Heavyweight Champion or CM Punk as WWE Champion. I think a lot of people would think that I'd go with CM Punk, but to me, it's like not even close. I would rather see Sami Zayn as World Heavyweight Champion. Reason number one is I've seen this, and it was great when I saw it. It was fantastic, but I've seen this. This is something that I haven't seen. This is uncharted territory. Could it end up being bad? Yeah, maybe, but it could end up being fantastic. But more than anything, it would be something that I've never seen before. And I do believe that Sami Zayn has put in so much work in his career. He's such a fantastic professional wrestler. As critical as I can be about his character sometimes that they write for him on WWE TV, I still think he's just amongst the elite in the WWE. And I would love for him to win a big world strap, whether it's the big gold or literally like winning the WWE Championship. I feel like that would be hype. Like, don't forget how freaking over Sami Zayn was in that Elimination Chamber PLE match against Roman Reigns, where we all wanted him to be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns. So this is something that people want, even if right now, you know, there's an enclave of people that don't necessarily love this idea, but I love the idea of Sami as world champion. Say his name and he appears, I believe, in Mark Henry. Okay, well, I hate this. This is absolute nightmare fuel. Naomi should dethrone Tiffany Stratton. I personally love this idea. When I look at who is available to dethrone Tiffany Stratton, I look at names like Bianca, who is out with injury and probably isn't, you know, at the top of options, considering we don't know how long she's going to be gone. There is Jade Cargill, who's an interesting option, but I would love for Jade Cargill to go after a heel to win her first WWE Championship. There is also Nia Jax, which absolutely nobody wants to see. That kind of leaves us Naomi as literally the best available option, because it's a heel dethroning a babyface, and then it gives Jade Cargill the ability to chase a heel that she has history with to chase her first WWE Championship. I love this idea, and I sincerely hope that this is the route that WWE goes with, because this character works. Becky cooked the scam artist Mercedes Moné.
Bailey is so confused about this. She's probably paying $100 a month to her best friend to text her.
All right. Well, for those that don't know, Mercedes Moné started a service where you can, I guess, personally text her. I don't know if it's actually her or you're talking to somebody overseas that she pays to text you back. But it's $99 a month to be able to text with Mercedes Moné. What a steal. Who do the Wyatt Six feud when they return? Okay, this is interesting. I kind of like the idea of John Cena, even if it's for a tiny little bit, for one episode of Friday Night SmackDown, because of the history that John Cena has with the Wyatt universe and the lore there. Let's not forget, you know, 2 WrestleMania matches with Bray Wyatt. That puts Cena in my opinion, like crosshairs for the Wyatt Six. And then there's other factions that you can look at. I know that they're in a different show, but I have always thought that a feud versus the Judgment Day is always like just the best thing that this faction could be doing, especially because Dominic Mysterio is so scared of the spooky and the occult. KO still on point without being on TV. Dear Rollins, do you also plan on getting an absolutely insane spray tan job to fit in with the rest of your group? Okay, I pointed this out on Monday Night Raw. Like, Paul Heyman had a wild tan. My man got like 5 coated layers of that spray tan, and so does Braun Breaker. No, man, I think Seth Rollins looks good. I think he's got a good natural tan look about him without having to get that spray tan officially done. I don't know why, but this is a feud I really want to see for Aleister Black now that he's back. Aleister Black versus Drew McIntyre. Hey, listen, I love this idea. I actually really like what they're doing with Aleister Black right now, because they've put him in a trajectory where he can actually take steps forward, as opposed to somebody like Rusev, where they put him in a feud where you can only really move laterally. So what I mean by that is that Rusev can only just beat up Alpha Academy. There's no like big fish after that unless a bigger babyface comes out to help Alpha Academy. But with Aleister Black, they've set him up where he can take on The Miz and then step up and go take on Carmelo Hayes. And that natural progression means that after Carmelo Hayes, it would make sense for him to take on even even somebody bigger. So I do believe that they've set up Aleister Black in a way where eventually, not that far from the future, feuding with Drew McIntyre could absolutely make sense. This could have been the main event of any PLE, but we got this on a go-home show to Backlash, which is crazy. Yeah, I'm a little bit conflicted about that. Obviously, like, the fact that we just got it was cool, and I love the surprise nature of it. A match that was unannounced and a match that ended up being fantastic and a roller coaster of emotions. I can't complain that we got it. Like, I simply see no reason to complain simply because it wasn't on a PLE. I think I'm just grateful that we got a PLE quality match that we weren't expecting, that wasn't announced on Monday Night Raw, because that to me was a very, very nice treat. Does it kind of burn the ability to have the World Heavyweight Championship on Backlash now? I think it absolutely did. But hey, at least what we got was something special here. Oh my God. Oh, damn. Oh,
God damn.
oh, dude, me and this guy had the exact same reaction. Dude, that was gnarly. I just realized this. This is the second time Becky feuded with someone after losing the titles to Liv and Raquel. Yep, so she lost the titles to Liv and Raquel when she was with Lyra and then started that feud. And then she lost them with Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus turning heel, of course, on Becky Lynch. This isn't like the first time that this has happened. Like, this is what the value of the women's tag team titles has been in the eyes of WWE. It isn't to create a women's tag team division. It's to use the women's tag titles as a launching platform for singles titles. Like, that's always what these titles, for the most part, have been designed for. They literally just spent like a year using these titles to build up a feud between Bianca, Jade, and Naomi. This is what these titles are predominantly used for. The League of Nations reuniting in 2025 definitely wouldn't be on anyone's bingo card. Yeah, I've been seeing this circulating, the fact that all of these guys are technically under the WWE umbrella. Sheamus, Rusev, Alberto Del Rio, and of course, Wade Barrett. I don't see this happening anytime soon. This is also not fun nostalgia bait. This faction absolutely suck ass. Santi, please, for the love of God, realign the fucking spinner belt. Listen, all right? People are like, hey, Santi, put a little piece of cardboard there so that, like, the W stands up. Here's the thing, all right? I'm not a casual. I actually spin this bad boy like literally every day. So if I put a piece of cardboard there, I can't just freely spin it, all right? How about no? I can't believe somebody met John Cena while he was working out. Yep. This is peak humor right here. Then with little Jimmy, now with big Jimmy. Oh. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of blew my mind with this. Was this worth $15? Yes, 100% it was. Hot take, 09 Randy Orton could solo 100 gorillas. He'd probably like find like the gorilla's wife and like threaten to punt her, and then the gorilla would give up, and then he'd punt the gorilla's wife anyway. Like, we are talking about like the most demonic character in WWE history, 09 Randy. Roman Reigns, nah, we got Ramen Reigns. This close. I am this close to ending the goddamn video if we get something else that's just AI garbage like this. Did you know that The Miz has his own golf channel? No, I didn't know that, but that's cool. I'm not interested at all in golf, but I would love to see more WWE superstars start stuff like this. Like we had it with Xavier Woods and Up, Down, Down, Sheamus and Celtic Warrior workouts. I would love to see WWE superstars document some of their hobbies outside of WWE. That'd be cool. The Espresso General. Yes, we saw this. So this is Sabrina Carpenter, famous from her song Espresso, cosplaying as a Zaring General Gunther at the Met Gala. Nice. All this for $20 and a handshake. Oh my God. Dude, this can't be worth it. I don't care what you're getting paid. That cannot be worth the bump. All right, folks, I will leave it there. Thank you very much for watching today's Reddit video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Goodbye. Get out of here.